Morning, afternoon. It's Justin from Brickright here again. I'm in Alaska. I'm freezing cold. I'm not in Alaska. I'm freezing cold in a place called Kilfynydd in South Wales. I've just done a quote, and I'm cold. Let's take this off for you. Right, today I want to talk about give you some tips on builders merchants. To be honest, and haircuts. No, builders merchants. So we'll dive straight into it. So I've written a couple of notes down, right? I was just thinking about this the other day, working in amongst all this foul weather we've got in South Wales at the moment. So little tips, and this is just for kind of people, as the theme's going, about people who are like just kind of starting out or thinking about starting out, or just a general consumer, somebody a DIYer or somebody like that. And if it helps any professionals in the trade, great. And again, if any professionals, DIYers, anybody can help me and give me a little bit of a more of a detailed understanding on stuff I've probably missed, which I know I have, then that's what the channel's all about, is to help me as well. So we'll go straight into it. So I've written a couple of notes. So builders merchants, and I use Travis Perkins, and always have done. And I've got other accounts with Juicens, and there's various other people that I use as well that I haven't got accounts with, but it's like a running kind of pay as you go type situation. So Travis and Juicens are my main go-to because I use them because I find they're pretty reliable. They get the stuff out to me, and if I'm working in Cardiff or I'm working up the valleys or I'm working in Newport or further afield, there's always a branch close by, isn't there? So they're always like a good go-to. And if I get a problem with a branch I haven't been to before, I can phone my account holding branch in Pontypridd, and they'll deal with the situation and get the delivery and get it all sorted for me. So I find that works. But just to go through it then. So number one, set your prices and then compare your prices. So that what that means is everybody kind of says, oh, don't use Travis, don't use Juice, and don't use them, they're too expensive, blah 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 blah. You've got to go in and you've got to treat it like you do out in Turkey, or if you've been on holiday, or you go to the local market on a Sunday. You've got to haggle. I set up a meeting with the manager. We go in the office, sit down, and then we go through all the prices. I tell him what I'm generally using on a daily or weekly basis, and then he'll give me a price to go to it, and up the price or lower the price hopefully. And then you come to the end of it and you say, well, yeah, I'm happy, no I'm not, and you work from there, and you get those prices stuck. Then they're stuck in stone, and they're the prices you pay moving forward on your orders you're going to order. So that's a good one, to set your prices. Don't just walk into Travis Perkins and have a credit card in your pocket and go to pay, because they'll just charge you the full whack because you haven't bartered with them. So please barter. Then monitor your prices once every 3 to 6 months. Monitor your prices. Check with the lads as coming out on site you see, and if you're friendly with the subcontractors or whatever, just compare notes. Make a couple of phone calls on an order. Say you want an order of say you're laying a brick wall and you want 2,000 bricks, and you want so the standard bricks, you want your sand, cement, you want your chip-ins, and all the generalised stuff that you get from the builders merchants. Phone the lads in the builders merchants, i.e. Travis Perkins, tell them what you want, ask them what the price is, including the Maggie Thatcher, the VAT, and then phone another one. And don't tell them you've got a price off Travis or Juicens or whatever, and phone them and just monitor it, just compare it for just to keep an eye on what you're paying, because you don't want to be paying too much. So build up a good relationship with the staff, and when you get to know me, I'm pretty easygoing. I like to have a laugh and a joke, and we do that, and we get into the builders merchants, and we know the lads, and they know us, and we got a good relationship with them. I can pull into the builders merchants, and they come over, or the ones that come over, they're willing to help us, and we got a good working relationship with the guys in there. And that's very, very important, because if they don't like you, or you've been awkward, or you've been a pain in the backside towards them, then they're going to go out their way to not to help you, are they? So build up a good relationship. Check all your invoices, prices on materials, and a lot of these merchants now, they hire equipment, don't they? So like I get my diggers off Travis Perkins, so they hire stuff out as well. So quite often they might have forgotten to off hire your digger or something. So you know you don't want to be paying another week's hire or another 2 or 3 days hire on your digger. So say you got a digger for 8 days and you paid for it for a week, so you got to pay the extra day. You don't want to be paying 9 days. So double check that because it has happened and it's human error. So sometimes that happened. So you don't want to be paying over the odds for a little discrepancy like that. And then, you know, give the guys and the merchants a chance. Order your materials always in advance, and then check that the lorry that's coming out to do your order, check that it can get there. Now, I'm fresh off pricing up a job just round the corner here on the side of the mountain in Kilfynydd, just outside Cardiff by Pontypridd. And I did the pre-qualifying questions on the answer on the quote on the phone before I went there, and he was kind of on the borderline whether I wanted to do the job in terms of access. So it's on the corner, so off I go. I go to have a look at it. The job can't get it. I couldn't just about get my Iveco up the old Selwyn. Old Selwyn just about got up the hill, just about got past parked cars, and then it was a nightmare turning around at the top. So I'm never going to get Travis Perkins or skips or anything up there, am I? So I went up there and I said, look, I'm awful sorry. I can't do it. I can't get stuff up there. So there's no point in you taking a job on and thinking, oh, great, 15 grand. He said yes. Well, hey, here we go. But then all of a sudden you can't get your stuff up there. Then you've dug his drive up there. You're in the poop then, aren't you? Because you can't get your stuff up there. So check you can get the delivery of your items to where you're working. Don't just buy from one place. Cast your net, like I was saying earlier. Don't just keep buying from one place, and we'll touch on this a little bit further. Just keep your hand in various different places. Like if you're generally using Travis Perkins, and like me, you got an account with Juicens, every now and again give it a Juicen, because what happened was, like, when we went into COVID, because I know the guys up in Caerphilly and in Cardiff in Juicens, and also the likewise with the boys in Travis Perkins stopped delivering when they went into lockdown before Juicen did. So then, okay, Travis Perkins are on stop. What do I do now? Okay, phone Juicen. I adjust, yeah, no problem. We get it out to you, no problem. Got like a good relationship, So you've got another option then, haven't you? If they can't do it on a Friday and you want it on a Friday, they're fully booked. Phone Juicen, they can do it on a Friday. So you've got somebody else. We also use Keyline as well, so they're good for like all your drainage and your groundwork stuff and your block paving and patio slabs and stuff like that. So use them as well. So that's another good one. So next one we've got is don't just buy your stuff from Travis Perkins or Juicens. What I mean by that is like, I'm a bricklayer by trade, as you all probably know by now. If you're going to buy bricks, you go in Travis Perkins and you look at them and you speak bricks. They haven't got a clue, have they? They haven't got a clue apart from what's on the shelf. They can guide you in the direction of a couple of concretes and a couple of clays and maybe some Staffordshire blues or some Class B engineered in bricks. They're done. That's it. Then they haven't got a jar of glue. What else you're talking about? So it'll be like, oh yeah, we can get them few. Yeah, leave it with us. We can get them, and then you're paying £1 million on top of what you should be paying. So go to the brickyard, or go to the stone supplies for your stone, your MOT type ones and stuff like that. You generally get them delivered on your grab wagon. So say you're buying from the builders merchants, and it's different all over the country. So say typically a ton of MOT type 1, which we call scalpings in South Wales, MOT type 1, ton of that, 37 quid, and then plus the VAT. So you're probably looking around about 41, 42 quid all in you, right? So you pay for that. 0.8 of a ton in that bag. So when you order off a grab wagon, they generally deliver 13 ton, 16 ton wagons or whatever. The price per tonnage is a lot less higher having your deliveries off them than what it is in the silly little ton bags, 13 little ton bags off Travis Perkins that are all lined up. And they can crane it and put it where you want it, given that the options on site for delivery are okay. So that's something to consider. Also, timber yards. Travis Perkins, Juicens, they all sell timber. But if you go to a specialist timber yard, you can get your fir in pieces cut. You can get stuff cut on a jig for you, and special cuts and stuff for timbers on roof, and if you're doing a fence or whatever, so you can get all that cut. And you can get other timbers that are a little bit out of the norm from these specialist timber yards. And generally, I find that they're a bit cheaper than Travis Perkins. Things like gloves, your disc cutter blades, your buckets, your tapes, your hand tools. Have a look online. Have a look online for them. Don't just go in the builders merchants and it's on the side there and you think, yeah, that's it, that'll do me. Whack that in the box, in the bag, yeah, let's go. Because the chances are you're going to pay too much money for them. And over the course of a month and over the course of a year, you look at what you've spent and what you could save, and you could be hundreds or even thousands of pounds by just doing a bit of due diligence. And then if you get your stuff regularly off these places, they're on your phone, you've got the number on the phone, it's just a quick call. Hiya mate, hiya Bob, it's Justin here, Brickright. Hiya Just, how are you? Yeah, can we have another 100 gloves? Can we have another 2 blades? Blah blah. Yeah, they'll send them down. Yeah, sorted. Give me the invoice, I'll pay it. Boom, done. Easy, innit? Yeah. Don't trust. So next point, don't fully trust the advice the builders merchants give you as well, right? We've touched on this in previous videos, so I won't go into it. Watch the other videos on the van vlogs. So, i.e. you go into the builders merchants, and the example I gave you before, I'll give it again. You go in, porcelain. You're laying porcelain. Hiya, mate. I'm laying the project around the corner. I'm doing some porcelain slabs. You do porcelain. You sell porcelain? Yeah, we sell porcelain. Right, okay. How do you stick the porcelain down? They'll say, right, okay, yeah, you got your slurry. Yeah, so they might point you in the direction of slurry. They might say you don't have to put slurry on the back of the slabs. Wrong advice. Then they might tell you that you can joint the slabs in like a polymer jointing compound, a brushing jointing compound. Wrong advice. So all of a sudden then you're buying all the stuff off them because they sell it. They don't sell the other products that you need to do the job right. You're buying their products, their quids in, but then after a year your product's failed. Who'd you go to then? They're going to go, I can't remember telling you that, mate. So don't trust everything they're telling you in the builders merchants, because they're not tradesmen. They're not you. They're not me. They're just people working behind the counter. And sometimes, in good faith, they're telling you their advice to the best of their ability. And they may not know that they're telling you the best of their advice, because they're not qualified tradespeople. So be careful. If the builders merchants are continuously letting you down, late deliveries or no show or stuff like that, move on. Sack them. Get rid. Don't mess about. Gone. Ta-da. Bye-bye. If they do hire stuff, excuse me, if they do hire services and products, check that they're insured. So we had a terrible situation working on the landscaping and extension job we got going on in Cardiff, which you can see in the playlist on another video. We had a digger stolen. Chap pulled up, stuck it on the back of opened his transit doors, whacked 2 planks down, little mini digger, little 3/4 ton in the back of the transit, shut the doors, off he went. Everybody thought he was off hiring it. People seeing him thought, he was off hiring it. He wasn't, he was bloody nicking it. So when we turned up the next morning, I turned up, looked, and my heart sunk, and I had that horrible feeling of shit. Somebody's pinched the bloody digger, boys. The digger's gone. Police couldn't find it. All of a sudden, you got a 10 grand, 15 grand, whatever the digger cost, gone. Well, who's going to pay for that? So again, if you go to these hire places, like I hire at the moment from Travis Perkins, they've got a hire waiver, which this is one of the main reasons I did hire from Travis. They've got a hire waiver in there, an insurance waiver, by where you pay a fixed fee per product, and if you have it stolen, we had to pay 500 quid, and we had a bit of a debate because the machine wasn't secure. The guy started it with a key and he drove away. One key fits all. I questioned it and said, well, the security was crap, which it was, so they reduced it to 250. So would you rather pay 250 quid excess or 500 quid excess, or a hire company saying, well, look, you haven't got your own plant insurance, because we don't use diggers every day, and plant insurance is expensive. So we pay as you go with the insurance with Travis. So we paid 500 quid. Okay, sick then. 500 quid. I paid for it. Done. There we are. Have that. Was I happy? No. I was absolutely fuming. But you've covered yourself, haven't you? In the eventuality that something gets stolen, and it's sickening. I hate people who do it. And if you're listening and you're a thief, then you need to change your way. But it's not good to do that to people. So sort that out. Get that sorted. Do your homework on that. What's next? Cash or credit card. So, you go in there, you run in on a cash basis, you pay as you go for your materials, or do you do it on a credit account? If you run it on a credit account, then what you need to do is you need to monitor and run your credit account thoroughly and run it like a business. That you need, say you owe £5 at the end of the month, 10 grand, 18 grand, 2 grand, whatever it is. At the end of the month, when the bill comes through, you've got to pay it, haven't you? So you've got to be able to run your business and know how much you're paying the builder's merchants. Otherwise, they'll whack you on stop, and then you won't be able to get no materials if that's persistent. So monitor your accounts, get it paid if it's a credit account. If it's cash, obviously you're paying as you go. So there's two ways of setting up a builder's merchant's account generally, if you're a professional company. And then what I found is this, and this is a bit of a nasty one, and it's one that's upset me a little bit over the years. The companies, you put your heart and soul in, you go in, you have a cup of tea with them, you sit there, you have a laugh and a joke with them. They become your mates, don't they? The guys and the builders merchants. And what they do to me, they become your mates, they become your buddies, and you go in and you think, yeah, Dave, he's a nice guy, he's not going to rip me off. And you trust him, and you trust and you trust and trust. Wrong move. Don't trust, because what's happened to me is, I've gone in there and I think Justin's here, he's going to have it, it's Justin, he's here, he's backing for you, he's here every other day, he's having diggers off us, he's having Indian sandstone off us, he's having porcelain off us, he's having plasterboard off us, he's having everything, all the stuff off us, spending thousands of pounds in year, every single day, lovely guy, keeps spending money, great customer, pays his bill, happy days. Let's put the price up. He's here every day, he's not going anywhere, he's been here for 5 years now, put the price up on him, he ain't going to know. And they do put the bloody price up on him. It's been done to me. So back to the question of monitor your accounts every 3 to 6 months and speak to the lads. Do it, because the buggers will put the prices up without you knowing and make you think they're your mate and do a dirty on you. And it's just life, innit? It's awful. And I tend to trust people, I think, a little bit too much. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Both. So just be careful on that one, because it's happened to me. The other one, how many branches do they have? So say you're working out of area or something, you got a massive job pulled up and you can't resist it, you haven't done it before, you want to do it, it's out your area, you've got to have a branch local to you, haven't you? So Travis, Juicens, they kind of tick the box key line with that, and then you've got your local builders merchants dotted around then as well, haven't you? So that's that. And then the other one, when the order comes to site, check the order's correct, because how many times do you get onto site and your order comes and the crane takes the order off, and there's a woman out here pulling the dog along, and I don't know what the dog is. It's a Dulux dog, the old Dulux dogs off the she's pulling the dog, and the dog wants to get in the van. I think he wants to be a brickie, he wants to train up to be an apprentice, the dog. Well, there he is. Anyway, check your order, right? Check your order, because how many times have you come along and the little things get missed? Bottle of Feb. You've ordered 2 bottles of Feb, frostproofer, waterproofer, any little bits and pieces like that. A lot of it gets missed, doesn't it? They'll bloody bill you for it. So check your order. Brad tends to go down now. I tell him what's on the lorry, because I know what's on the lorry. And what he'll do, he'll get the ticket. Or in COVID times now, he'll put it in his head and he'll tick it off and come to me, and we'll both double check it together, because once it's been delivered, you've got no proof then whether they've delivered it to you or not, and you don't want to pay for something that you haven't had, have you? So there we go. I'm out. So that's me. One more point, and this point absolutely winds me up, and it has done for 32 years, and I don't know why every builder merchant does it, and it does me every single time. And we're in January, and we've just done a week on site, and it's been tipping down all week. We've been absolutely soaked. We got the gazebo, but everything outside of the gazebo is soaked. Why don't they cover the materials up and the builders merchants? Sand soaking wet, bricks soaked, blocks soaked, timber soaked, everything is absolutely soaked. All right, they got their thing, the little cover up thing, the little warehouse for their for the plasterboards and the dry goods, the timbers that go in there, and your ply and all that kind of stuff goes in there. So they keep all that dry. But it's January, things are not drying out. Even if you get a week now of dry weather and the sun comes out, There's no bite, there's no heat to the sun. So those bricks you had when it was tipping down a week ago, or the sand, is going to be soaking for weeks and weeks and weeks. Why the hell, builders merchants, don't you do something to cover your sand or shrink wrap your blocks? I mean, the blocks come from these places, and the bricks come from these places. They they might be covered with a bit of plastic, but they're not covered good enough, are they? Builders merchants, if you run a builders merchants and you're out there and you cover your sand and you cover your blocks, all the ground workers, all the brickies, all the boys working with those types of materials, if you make yourself separate from everybody that don't cover your materials, and you cover your materials up, you will get everybody travelling for miles and miles and miles, and word will get out that your stuff's dry, and you will make an absolute killing. Why you haven't done it, I don't know. So do it. It just winds me up, and I'm sure it winds you guys up as well. But anyway, we're getting to next week now. So what we're going to do, Brad's on a diet. He's not here today because obviously it's a Saturday. Brad's on a little diet, and we'll have a little bit of banter with Brad on site. And he's absolutely brilliant, because I love having a laugh with the guys on site and in general. So what we're going to do, we're going to set a little trap, and I'm going to put like a chocolate bar right in front of his eyes, right by there in the glove box. And I'm just going to say, oh, I don't want it. I don't feel like it today. I don't want it. And what we're going to do, we're going to see how many days, hours, or whatever it takes him to pinch the chocolate bar, right? Let's see what happens. I don't know whether he'll be decent and leave it there and think to himself, well, I can't take that, it's not mine. Or will his will his giant stomach and his eyes get the better of him and think, oh, I can't resist that, I gotta have it. And then he'd come back to me and say, just, do you know the chocolate bar in there, was that yours? I've eaten it. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to set a little trap, see what happens. We won't be able to video it because I can't set a video up in here and keep it running. But if he nicks it, we'll keep it to ourselves, and I'll let you know what happens with it. So anyway, stay safe. Hope it's been helpful to you. Any comments you got on this, any help you want for this, and there's a couple of boys now giving me a ring and sending some messages down that I've managed to help, and that's good. That's great. I don't mind doing that for people if I can do that. And if anybody, like I say, if anybody can help me, and people have, and they know who they are, and I really, really, really do appreciate it, that they help, and I'm learning all the time. So fantastic. Anything I've missed on this, which I'm sure I have, let me know. And please click the subscribe button at the end, because it's given us the opportunity to get the channel out there. It's given the opportunity to get more people in, and more people on, and more people being able to teach me and learn off each other and help each other off as a little community. Good luck to all the brickies. Good luck to everybody out there that's working on site in this awful weather. You're all little heroes, because it's hard work and we don't get a recognition for it. And take care, stay dry, stay safe. Going back in the cover now. Ta-da!